Hello Exiles, and welcome back to my final build update for Thornheir, the Maelstrom Shepherd. I'd just like to apologize to anyone who was following the build guide. I actually thought I had the strength stacking version video up on it, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, so I do apologize, and I thought I'd just make one now just to show you what strength stacking is and how it works for the build, as well as the changes that I've made. So we come over to the skill tree, and with the Orcale Ascendancy, we have the skill node, which is the path, walk the path not taken. For those who don't know what that is, so pretty much all these purple lines coming out of the skill tree here, they're all secret passive skills that we can use, which falls in line with this walk the path not taken. Now, the biggest thing that came with this is this powerful casting, which gives a 2% increased spell damage per tank strength. Hence why we like to stack as much strength as we can. As you can see here, my strength is 924. There was just a few things that I wasn't able to get. Ideally, in the path of building, I was able to get up to 1024, I think it was in total. But I just couldn't get the requirements that I needed for my gear and jewels on here, unfortunately. So the biggest changes in my skill tree, as you can see here, all my nodes pretty much resembling strength. There are a few intelligence ones, and that's more so just because I needed it for some gear, but everything else is pretty much strength. And as you can see here, I pretty much removed all the nodes I had in the passive tree here and just redirected it all down here, as well as to get as many jewel sockets as I could. And then ideally, just with the jewel sockets as well, you just want jewels to have 2% increased strength on all of them. And then ideally you can get spell damage and energy shield on each one. That's very beneficial. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to do a lot of more crafting at the moment. So pretty much the one thing I'm trying to do is get a double corruption on every single item I have in jewel. So as you can see here, this one was very beneficial. I got intelligence and resistance. Ideally, if I got strength, it would have been a lot more better, but I do need intelligence as well, so but that was a win regardless. And then as you can see here, just all my jewels have the 2% increased strength. And the reason why we coming down to this section of the tree as well is because there's a lot more strength nodes here. So you got this plus 25. You got your breach strength here. You got Titanic, which is all very nice. And then over on this side as well, so we have the Against the Darkness Timeless Jewel. I think I had this in my previous build as well, but pretty much is we're just taking this Resistance and Holy Palm technique here, so we can get these nodes off this skill tree without being connected to them. And that's the reason why we have all that additional there, which is really, really good. Now, for my gear, there has been a few changes. The biggest one would be the armor. So we're using Iron Grass Vagabond armor, and this is purely for the Iron Will, because that Iron Will, what it does is gives 1% increased spell damage per 2 strength, which is absolutely amazing, because that's stacking with all the other strength additional bonuses that we're getting. Ideally, you want to try to get a 30 plus base strength. Mine's only a 22, which is a low roll, unfortunately. But there's no point in changing this late into the league anyway. The other important thing on this as well, try to get a double corrupt on it, so you can get the four rune sockets here, so that way there you're getting extra additional 40 to strength, which is nice because you get the additional 10 from the extra rune socket, and then anything else is beneficial. So I was lucky to get the maximum elemental resistances, because the way there, as you saw earlier, my resistances are pretty low, as well as my energy shield. But this isn't a big deal, and I'll explain why shortly. I'd just like to discuss my weapon that I was previously using and I just updated recently. But pretty much this was my previous setup. So ideally you want to get a +8 to physical spell skills, so it does need to be sanctified to reach that 8, which is really good, because in that way there you only need to get a +3 on this. Unfortunately though, I did update my as I said, my staff was only able to get a +7 because it's not sanctified, but my damage with this is just absolutely insane, as well as twice corrupted. So I got the additional spell the additional rune socket, and then I also got the cast speed, which is really good. And because of this as well, it did bring my tornado gem down to level 39 instead of level 40. So unfortunately I did have to just get a +4 to all skills on my vertex. But the most important thing with this, as you can see, they're pretty much both the same. The spirit is the most important thing. I wouldn't get any more than less than 27 spirit enchant on it. And then the other one as well is the skill gems have no attribute requirement. That is the most important thing on this. That's because your skill gems all require high intelligence. At level 20 I think it's 157 off memory. And this here pretty much eliminates that, so that way there you can have the most minimum amount on your actual skill tree. Which the only thing that's costing me high is this here, which is 116 intelligence. So I've got 117, and that's all I require. Unfortunately my previous stuff was 137, but because I was got these reduced requirements on this, I was able to free up some nodes down here, which were intelligent originally as well, which gave me some additional damage, which is nice. And as I mentioned, trying to craft a lot more, and trying to double craft all my stuff. So you see here, this one actually took me 7 attempts to get, but I got the 15 plus strength and lightning resis on this, which is really nice. And ideally you can get strength resistances as a double craft on all your items. It would be really beneficial in the long run. Unfortunately it kind of bricked with this one here, so I did get the additional spell damage, which is the most important thing, so 122 spell damage. I was hoping for an additional socket, but instead I got the 9% increased quantity of gold dropped, which is not a big deal. It's just something nice to have. And other than that, there hasn't been any more changes to my gems or my items. But as you can see here now, my damage has gone up quite a bit since last time, which is nice. It still nukes bosses. Really the damage isn't an issue. It wasn't an issue originally. I just wanted to see how much I can actually get in it. The other thing as well, which I forgot to mention, is just my secondary swap. So that's where I get my elemental weakness and frostbomb from. But as you see here, as I mentioned earlier, my energy shield is only 4,390 and my resistance is pretty low. But when I'm casting my elemental weakness or my frostbomb, you can see here that the energy shield goes up to 8,272, as well as my resistances go maxed. So as I'm running around mapping, you pretty much just, as you're casting, you're shooting at the one tornado as it is anyway. Then you can pretty much just swap back. And if you feel like you are dying, you've also got your covalescence to help boost up your energy shield recharge, which is also very good. So that's pretty much it. Not too much changes initially, besides all the additional strength stuff from the base Oracle version. Now what I am looking forward to is in 0.5. I did discuss this more in the shaman version of the build, and that's pretty much armor. So armor stacking, as well as the elemental damage to armor. Like I said, it worked really good early, but it did it fell and was really bad late game. So I do know they are going to be making changes to it, so I hope the changes are going to be very beneficial and better, because I feel like the shaman version of tornado build was a lot more fun. You can have up to 5 tornadoes going at once visually. So I kind of hoping they do make the changes to that. I also do hope they make changes to the tornado skill gem in general, because a dot based skill, but the whole alignment thing I think needs to be reworked, or give us the ability to be able to generate more than one tornado off the base skill gem once it hits level 15 or higher, which would be nice, instead of just having the one, because I think that's a bit of a let off why a lot of people aren't playing the tornado build as it is. But other than that, I am looking forward to 0.5. I will be making my build guide again with all the updated changes, so please do watch the space. I also will have a few different variants of it. I have been playing around with 3 other versions I'm going to try implement with it, and hopefully they work. It just depends on the patch notes when they do come out. And other than that, thank you for everybody for taking the time to watch the video, and if please feel free to add any questions in as well. I'll try to get to them when I can and answer everyone's. But thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all in 0.5.